Welcome back to the Casual Gaming Conversation, the show where Nick and I come at you once a week, every Thursday at 9 a.m. on YouTube, talking about one big topic, some hot takes, and a amazing draft at the end. This week we got a fun show lined up for you, but coming up, we got a whole smorgasbord of exciting content.
We did the content calendar out through December 16th. And I think that, honestly, I could also pencil in the next month after that. We got a lot of goatees coming up, a lot of fun discussions, and then, boy oh boy, Spider-Man 2,
Let me break
Alan
it down.
Wake,
Let me break it down.
Mario Wonder. We still got games coming out left and right, Connor.
Let me break it down real fast. Yeah, we have podcasts coming up for Spider-Man 2 next week.
That's going to be a review, spoiler-filled.
Mario Wonder, Alan Wake 2. Then we're going to have some multiple Game Awards prediction videos.
So just to break that down a little bit, we start out by predicting what the slate is going to be on the Game Awards. Then after it gets revealed, we predict the winners of that slate. Then we're going to come in with a fun betting special. Then we're going to come in with a Connor and I's overall predictions, like, is Ghost of Tsushima going to be there? Stuff like that. And then we'll close it out with our own game of the year. So we got a bunch of fun stuff.
A lot of fun stuff. And thanks so much for the support on TikTok and other platforms recently. We post new TikToks every day, so if you're not following us over there, be sure to check that out. A lot of fun stuff coming up. And also we stream every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We got fun streams finishing out Kingdom Hearts tonight, but we have Hi-Fi Rush for me. We have Mario Wonder starting every Monday. From here on with me, Brady, and Nick on the couch. And then we're doing Final Fantasy VII Original, Nick, Tuesday, Thursday, 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to tune into that. So that's just your little housekeeping there for you.
Yep.
Ready to hop into the hot take?
I'm coming out swinging, Connor.
You want to go first?
I'm going first, and
Okay.
I'm going for it.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, my hot take for this week is very simple. Side quests suck. Side quests are awful. Side quests should not be in video games. Side quests should not contain story bits. Side quests overall generally suck.
You should not post this on TikTok because it's such a bad take, dude.
Let me make my case. First and foremost, what is gaming all about? Having fun. Having a good time. If I have to go and get a frying pan for old Sue, I'm not having a good time during that mission. I want to get to the meat and the potatoes. I want to get into the story. I want to get into that combat. I want to do all the fun stuff that the game actually wants to present to me. Sure, go grab a collectible. All good. Go do this thing. That's fine. But don't withhold story beats. Don't give me a Final Fantasy 16 situation where some of the best story moments in the game are side missions. Just make that part of the freaking main game. What are we doing here? Why? It's make that an extra 10 hours and include that main story beats, because they should be main story beats. This isn't saying all side quests are bad. This is saying certain side quests should be part of the main game. And then also, certain side quests are bad. Because, I mean, yeah, there are, of course, boring side quests in certain games. You talk about your open world RPGs, you talk about your Bethesda's, your CD Projekt Reds. There's going to be some boring side quests in those games. There's going to be some time-wasting side quests in games.
But some of the best side quests and some of the best story moments are in these side quests.
I totally agree. Make that part of the main story.
But they usually delineate a lot of the time which is which.
Yeah, but I want just a very clear make that part of the story. I want a moment in a game. I'm just gonna use FF16 as an example, where for the Jill side quest, who's one of the main characters, that is a great story beat. That is, for a lot of people, a must-play story beat when you're talking about this game to get the full experience of this game. Give me a moment where the game slows down, or right before the final boss, you have to do those 3 missions before you get to the final boss. Include that in the main story before you have to do the final boss. And you might say, Nick, well, but you should want to go off and do those things. Make it so clear, make it part of the main story. If you have a story to tell, which a lot of these games have great stories to tell, make it part of the main game. Side quests, I don't need them. They suck.
Stand down.
Yeah, I'm stoked for Spider-Man 2 to be swinging around and doing a bunch of side stuff and picking up my backpacks and everything. But That's an extra thing that I want to do. It shouldn't be limiting in a certain way.
Why
that
don't
they
you
are
want
in games.
more gameplay? Why don't you want more like optional bosses?
Optional bosses are one thing, but
stories.
make it completely. I'm talking mainly about the stories. That's my biggest issue.
But a lot of it, they're extra. They're not. I mean, like Final Fantasy 16 is a bad example because I think you're right that there are certain side quests that are like necessary. But like for Final Fantasy 7 remake, those are optional, but they really flesh out the world and give you like more experience and everything, and give you more excuses to enjoy the combat.
As someone that loves that world, though, make those things main jobs.
But the issue
and then
is
give me the arena at the end that I can fight a bunch of bosses in.
But you have an issue there because then you end up in a situation with Final Fantasy 16 main missions that sometimes feel like side missions, and you got annoyed by them.
Yeah,
and a lot of people. So which is it?
So you take out the annoying side missions, you bring in the good actual side content, and then you make that the full game. Gotcha. Dude, all killer, no filler. Give me as much fun per minute as possible.
It wouldn't be a casual gaming conversation without a little bit of a hiccup. We're recording, right?
Yeah.
You hit start recording?
Of course it did.
Okay. I like don't remember you doing it at any point, so I was worried for a second there.
Connor just loves making me nervous today.
Yeah.
Oh, of course I did.
I mean, I just want it to be good. I just want the product to be
All right,
good.
we're going to keep that in there, though.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It wouldn't be a casual gaming conversation without us having some sort of hiccup.
Oh, jeez. You terrify me. Anyways, what's your hot take for this week? Because mine's getting posted. As the person that runs the TikTok, mine's totally
I'm sure it's getting posted. I just wanted to get the people off of my back because I need to make sure that they don't hate me.
Dude, we're talking about Mr. Final Fantasy 13, Bioshock 2 being on the greatest games of all time.
Yeah, but I mean, Final Fantasy 13 has like very little side quests and it's awesome. Like,
I'm not talking about those things as examples. I'm just saying I'm not the only one with hot takes over here, okay?
I mean, I just have right takes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the thing with the Final Fantasy 13 take is that like I know I'm right. I know I'm right on this. Like it's what I backed it up. The combat's fantastic. The music is amazing. The story is amazing. The characters are amazing. The visuals are amazing. Like I don't know what people want. It's just not open like everybody wants.
I will say this: I've been listening to the main theme song.
The battle theme.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
So good.
It's one. It might be the best Final Fantasy battle theme. It's close. Ooh. It's close up there. We should do a draft of Final Fantasy battle themes at some point.
I'm just gonna take those who fight further, still more fighting.
Because I guess
first 3
games,
picks.
A lot of the games are going to have like multiple.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So that's interesting. We could literally Final Fantasy music.
Connor,
in general.
What is your hot take for this week?
All right. My gaming hot take for this week is that Game Freak and Pokemon need to go on ice for the next 5 years.
Oh my gosh, that's 5 years.
It's time for us to go away from Pokemon for a while. They need to ramp up the budget. They need to ramp up the team and the number of developers working on this game and treat it like the IP that it is. This is one of the biggest IPs in the world. Your mom knows who freaking Pikachu is. And these games look like doo-doo dog water, dude. Like, why is the budget not $1 billion on these games? Why don't we have a GTA budget for a game that is almost as big and ubiquitous as something like it could be something as big as GTA. It's in the public mind, it might be something along those lines, but it's not treated that way. It's a buggy, ugly mess half the time. And for somebody like me who's become a lapsed Pokemon fan, that's what would get me back in. Raise the budget, raise the number of developers, go all in on making something great and amazing, overhaul the battle system, overhaul the visuals, overhaul the open world aspects, and really give us something amazing. And I think a lot of people would agree with that, but for me, it's the length of time that I think that they need to go away for. Like, we've had a new Pokemon game just about every year since 1996.
If not two.
Yeah, if not two. We need, like, slow down. Why do we need this absolute gluttony of games for this franchise? Why can't we just get 1 or 2 amazing ones every 4 or 5 years?
Money.
Exactly. That's the thing, is this will never happen. People buy Pokemon in droves, and there's only this vocal repercussion online. Whereas it's not like a actual financial repercussion, so nothing's ever going to change. But if I had my druthers, go away, stop making Pokemon games, come back with something fantastic that will get me and many longtime fans who have lapsed back in. That's my hot take.
All right. Well, we got the big topic this week, which is a topic that are just forcing down my throat. I'm trying to get him out.
We're killing time, really. I just think this will be a fun thing to discuss real fast, and it's something that I'm really passionate about. Nick less so, but we have a bunch of big games coming up, and then Game Awards and everything. So we wanted to just kind of have more of
we wanted to have a chill conversation.
Something that's a little bit more evergreen. That if you come to this conversation in 10 years, it'll probably still be interesting and apply to maybe what you're looking for, and that's retro game collecting in the all-digital future. As you know, we're moving towards the all-digital future. The new Xbox Series, no disc slot in it. It's going to be all digital. The new PlayStation Slim, detachable disc drive. They're just begging for you to rip that bad boy off. They want nothing to do with discs. They want it to be all digital. So with that in mind, the way of physical collecting and physical media going away. And it's something that I'm really kind of bummed about. I know a lot of other people are really bummed about it, especially if you grew up collecting and enjoyed getting that fresh box, opening it up, flipping through the manual, holding the cartridge or looking at the disc in your hands or whatever. That was so exciting for me when I was a kid, and now I've reclaimed that excitement as an adult. So I recently got into collecting in November with the all-digital future. Do you think we are moving into a completely all-digital future in your mind? Or what,
PS7 is my number.
PS7?
PS7, 2030... What would that be? 35? Yeah.
PS7. I don't think the PS6 will have one, honestly.
I do, and, well, I think PlayStation wants it because they can charge more money for it. The juice is worth the squeeze for them, where they basically just make an extra $30. Like, by putting one in there. And so it's like, okay. And then the only reasons they don't want to do it is digital sales versus...
Yeah, well, digital, they get way more rip on it. Yeah.
So...
and you don't have to deal with used games.
Yes. And so, I think that they will? Eventually, yeah. And do I think that...
Money.
It all comes down to money, where I think they also know that consumers really want the home entertainment system still. Like, where you buy a PlayStation 5 for it's something to play your DVDs on if you still have them. So I think as DVDs go to the wayside,
they're seeing right now.
Yeah, it's happening right now. But I do think that the next PlayStation, they're going to be like, we got it as an option. But then game devs like Remedy, who's not putting out Wave 2 out on disc.
Yeah, you've already seen it. Remedy, the next Yakuza game, I think.
BG3 was limited on disc.
Yeah,
like, it's definitely...
This used to be an indie-only thing, and now it's coming to major developers with the digital.
Yeah,
and it's sad to see, in my opinion.
Oh, it's so sad to see. One of my favorite gaming memories ever was last year, lining up with a bunch of God of War Ragnarok fans at midnight in Auburn, just like waiting to go and get not only the game but seeing people in line open up the collector's edition when they got it, pull out Mjolnir's hammer and just be like, or Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. It's special to be like, we get to do fan moments like that. And honestly, like, just having the disc, I way preferred, and I did that for Horizon also, but I didn't do it for Elden Ring. And I'm like, I kind of wish I drove down the street and picked it up, because I love Elden Ring. I love that as a game case. I love the physical holding, especially now with the wall.
Right.
Like, I really wish we had that game case. I really wish that I had that in my stack. Like,
yeah,
it's tough.
So just hopping into the first question then on this, it's why did I get into collecting, and what would make you get into collecting if you address it? So why I got into collecting, I started to see the trends with major developers pulling digital games from storefronts. We saw Avengers go offline recently. We saw Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation get pulled, and I think you can't even play it now, even if you bought it. They completely stripped it from stores, and then also like stripped it from your. They have the ability to do that. They can strip it from your library, basically. Same with ET. We saw, like, that game's just gone forever unless you own it, have it downloaded on your console.
PS4, as the latest PS4. You can play it now, because PS5 you can't play it on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like, it's these pieces, these artifacts are getting lost to history. And that's also another aspect of it. I just love the history of video games. and being able to insert myself into the nostalgia that isn't even my nostalgia, but I can harness it by playing PS1 games on my CRT. I never owned a PS1. I started on PS2, but now sitting in front of a CRT playing Final Fantasy IX for the first time, doing the whole game, and it being a slow and plodding experience, but being able to put my head into wrap my head around the idea that like I'm in the 90s and I'm holding on to a piece of the 90s. Like that was really exciting and enticing to me, and also I like that physical aspect and the holding the controller and inserting the disc or inserting the cartridge, like that tactical feeling and being able to look at the artwork. It's very similar to vinyl, why a lot of people enjoy collecting vinyl. And that kind of ties into emulation. Why don't you just emulate? Well, it's because of all of those reasons. I like it's against everything that I enjoy about collecting. Like, and also buying something makes me feel like I need to play it. Like the idea of emulation having all these games at your fingertips, you're never going to play any of them because the choice is so vast that it's like, I don't know, like I'm going to play Mario 3 on my PC, like when I have a choice of billions of games from history. It's just like I need to have that physical item. So that's always been exciting to me. But if you were to get into collecting, what would get you in? What console would you be most interested in starting with?
I think that I wanted you to guess in a second the console because I think this would be a fun little back and forth. But my answer is I don't think that once again money. Like if I had more disposable income, it'd be a lot easier to do that. But overall, the reason that I don't is because for me, when it comes to gaming stuff, I still am hitting my own essentials. Whereas getting that Rock Band set completed this year, which was a larger financial commitment, it was something I cared about because once again, I love the fun of video games. I love the group of people getting together. Like us playing Mario Wonder on Monday is gonna be that moment of just you, me, and Brady on the couch playing the game together, having fun, sharing laughs, doing the damn thing.
That's another thing with collecting retro is couch co-op, man. For these classic consoles or ports, the games tailored for being on the couch together, they were in mass at that point. They were everywhere. The GameCube, the N64, the PS1, these consoles are great for playing on the couch with friends.
So, with that, I want to ask you, what do you think the console that would get me into quote-unquote retro games?
Is it something that you've already owned in your life?
I don't want to... I want you to go as wild as possible.
Probably GameCube, I would guess. I feel like that's what most people lean towards. That's what I thought about leaning towards at first.
Do you think that's where I'd lean towards, though?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so not at all. The reason, and I think that the fun part of this conversation is, I think that I would... I have some familiarity with Nintendo. I have a lot of familiarity with PlayStation. I would love to get an Xbox and a 360. I would love to have streams of playing the OG Halo Combat Evolved split screen with you guys. I want to play MW2 on the couch with you guys. I want to have these moments with friends because I think that that's where retro gaming gets really fun. Some of my all-time favorite memories, if not probably in the pantheon of my gaming memories, was sitting down, church, sleepover, pulling out the N64, playing GoldenEye, and just drinking so much Mountain Dew, an unhealthy amount of Mountain Dew.
He's really talking about Mountain Dew.
I'm not
talking about ripping beers. They were just getting hopped up on
Mountain Dew. There was one night, and we were playing Wii U, and just drinking 12 Mountain Dews in one night. Literally happened.
When you say we drank 12, you expect the sentence to end with beers or whatever. Yeah. But it's Mountain Dew. It's that's so wholesome.
I remember my mom being they could be doing a lot worse as you guys were just drinking Mountain Dew and playing video games. But yeah, I those memories hold true to me. So the idea, I knew, knowing that this question would be coming, I really just do love the idea of being on the couch and playing games. And
I had no experience with the original Xbox.
Well, that's the other big reason. So I have a little bit where a good friend of mine in college had an Xbox our freshman year, and he lived 2 floors above me. So it would just be we're just gonna go up and play some couch co-op games, and have a great time.
You could die if that original Xbox fell on you. That thing was a beast.
Well, guess what? You want to know what's funny? Yeah, the TV that was way too high. Shout out way too high TVs on Reddit. I don't know what it's called. Yeah. But he also had it on a stand on a shelf that was so far up, and eventually the shelf did tip over, and I was like, "It's because the Xbox."
With the Xbox,
yeah, and it shattered. It's completely
the Xbox got destroyed. Rest in peace.
Yeah, but it was up like we had high ceilings, and he was on the top floor. It was like 20 feet in the air.
That's terrifying, honestly.
But yeah, so thankfully no one got hurt. But in all actuality, that is the thing for me. I think Xbox. It's also just being like, if I'm going to do something different, I want to get real different with it. Where it's like you have a breadth of knowledge. Well, it's the PS1 at this point. You are in on your Nintendo games. But like both of us aren't really huge Xbox people, other than Hi-Fi Rush. But other than like games that like
we're associated with Xbox, but not necessarily. I played them probably on PS3.
Yeah, like that's a lot of the third-party games we played on PS3. But like when I think about my memories playing Call of Duty, I think about the Xbox controller in my hand, not a PlayStation controller. And so
with Titanfall.
Yeah, Dual. Can they make another Titanfall?
I hope.
Can they please? Anyways,
or we can just hop into Titanfall 2 just for a week.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
All right, what's up next?
And then real quick, since you talked about the console you start with, I just want to talk about like my start with it. I started with PlayStation 1 and an SNES same day. Bought both of those with Donkey Kong Country 1 and Final Fantasy 9. Good place to start. Honestly,
2 bangers.
And then it's just kind of snowballed from there. Nick gave me his N64, and we worked that out. My sister's ex-boyfriend gave me his GameCube, but I had to buy all the cores and buy all the...
it was just the box.
It was just the box, no game in there or whatever, so I had to buy like everything else along with it or whatever. I got that with... that first day I got Double Dash, Wind Waker, and something else.
I forgot what... I knew Double Dash was in there, but I didn't know anything else.
Melee. Double Dash, Melee, and Wind Waker. I think that's a strong showing for the GameCube. I think I have the most PS1 games at this point. The PS1 is still my favorite console to collect for. Like I said, I missed it completely, so I have no nostalgia for it. So that's why it's even crazier that I think it's the best console, because I have no nostalgia blinders on for that console or whatever. It's just what I've experienced in the last year, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude, it's real good. I really love the jewel cases, the glass cases that break way too easily. Every single case that I have has scratches or cuts in it. But I love that the manual is the cover, and you can just open that up and take that out. It looks awesome. Weird thing about PS1 games, love the dual book, the double set, as one may say, where it's like 3-4 discs or whatever. Weird thing, some of them, right.
That's what I say, Yu-Gi-Oh.
But I think this is actually one of the instances. Yeah, there's no disc. It's one disc, but it's two panels.
That's all.
Makes no sense. A lot of games are like that, so I've always found that really fascinating.
It's got to be a shipping thing. There's got to be some sort of manufacturer shipping thing where they're like, we got a bunch of these dual things.
Yeah, just send it out.
We'll do it for cheaper.
Or maybe they like rebox this, because you can rebox them. I usually like to keep the original box, but. And that just looks so good looking. I just love the jewel cases. So that's the PS1 is my favorite. I want to break down some holy grails real fast. My gaming holy grails.
Can I toss in some holy grails?
Yes, I'm gonna just run through mine and then you hit yours. Okay. All right. So Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, obviously extremely expensive. But I feel like that's on everybody's holy grail. I will not play Chrono Trigger unless it is on the original SNES. I am not going to emulate it. Do not ask me to emulate it. I swear to God. Persona 2, of course. And then I'm on a huge mission to collect all the Squaresoft PS1 games, because they're my favorite developer. During that era, at least. Square Enix is not my favorite developer now, but during that era, they were killing it.
Who's your favorite dev now?
I've not thought about that.
Okay.
So yeah, you can hit me in a bit.
That'll be on the stream. That'll be the first question I ask.
Maybe Atlas at this point.
Oh,
like with Persona,
Nerd.
And Catherine, love those games. But the Squaresoft games I have left, I only have Iron Hander, Saga Frontier 1 and 2, Brave Fencer Musashi, Front Mission 3, Chocobo Dungeon, and Parasite Eve 2. All expensive.
I was going to say Parasite Eve 2 is a bag, isn't it?
It's like $120.
Okay,
it's not crazy.
Not too bad.
Parasite Eve 1 was like $80. So, but most of these are like in the 80, 100 something range. And then the game that we saw today that I need in my life now, Haunting Ground on PS2.
What the fuck
$300 developed by Capcom, but it's a psychological horror game, I guess, that somebody mentioned on stream. Who was it?
I think it was Salazar.
Salazar Naruto mentioned it on stream, we think, and if we got that wrong, I apologize. Call us out in the comments if you watch our stream and mentioned it, but That game looks awesome, and I want to play it now.
The guy was like, it was one of the scariest and most disturbing experiences of my life, and I was like, that sounds miserable. And Connor's like,
that sounds awesome. I'm in on that. But $300, but this is one of those situations where it's like I would have to like get gifted some money or like get like a bonus at work or something, and be like, okay, like maybe I'll splurge on one of these.
Half of that goes to the saving, half of it goes to whatever it is.
Yeah, and then what are your holy grails?
Yeah, I had none. I just was messing with you. I just want the DK Bongo game really badly at this point.
We can get it. It's not that expensive. It's like $30.
I know. I'm saying that would be a fun stream. I'm just thinking about like old games that I want to play on stream on the original console.
Right. Sly Cooper, of course.
I do think that
I need to find these Sly Cooper games.
The Sly games. I think we haven't talked about this. I'm playing FF9 on a PlayStation 4. PS5. Yeah.
I own it on Switch too.
Yeah, I'm probably playing on PS4 though.
I also own it on PS4.
Yeah,
I own it on PS1, PS4. Yeah,
but overall, there's just a bunch of games that like I will always want to play with a better controller. That's just the other thing.
I love the feeling. I love the feeling of using a PS2 controller when it's not meant to be used. If that makes sense.
Well, for consoles, we got a draft. We got to do.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
but real quick, we're just gonna close it out. Just if you're interested in collecting. Start small, pick a console you're really interested in, keep within your budget, try to just kind of build slowly. And if you want to just kind of get a lot of games, it's always good to just kind of buy the cheaper stuff early and maybe buy a few expensive things here and there. But support your local game stores. They're small businesses, really important. Try not to use eBay when you can because it's a little tough to vet if it's going to be a good product. I've used it a few times, but there's so many game stores in the area that would probably love your money.
And honestly, it like even if it's a drive, like for me, there was a couple that were a little bit further out for certain products that I bought in the past, and sometimes you just got to make the drive and not put more money in Jeffy Bezos' pocket.
And it's so fun too, just to walk around the store, like having that tactical experience in the store and everything.
It's a great time. We were in a video game store earlier today and had a blast.
Being able to peruse and talk to the staff and everything. Everybody's usually so nice there. So
yeah,
be sure to check that out. All right, let's close it out with the draft. Do you want me to intro it? Yeah.
I like intro drafts. Okay. I'm not gonna lie.
Are we snaking? We're still snaking.
Do we have to?
I really don't like it.
I hate it. Yeah.
Let's just go back to doing it the way we want to do it.
All right. Do you want first pick? Well, now you get an advantage for first pick. You can take first pick for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are drafting video game consoles. Not the libraries of those consoles.
How the consoles look.
So what's it going up on the stand in the entertainment console, how it looks. Connor, you got the first pick.
And we're going to do different versions of consoles, but you can only pick one console, if that makes sense. So for example, with my first overall pick, I'm going to go PlayStation 2 Slim.
Yes.
The slim version, paper thin. The Fat Boy is pretty good looking, but that slim version is extra good looking. Bonus points for the silver version. The silver version is sexy.
I'm going to come in hot, and I'm going to say a console it's a little bit newer. But at the end of the day, I want my thing to look sexy.
I'm going to win this draft.
I want the Xbox Series X.
Whoa!
I want just a black cube that just looks good, slides in my entertainment console, don't have to worry about it. Nobody's ever going to question the look of it. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of weird looking consoles. There's a lot of things that are aesthetically not that pleasing. Xbox Series X is literally, in my eyes, the perfect console. It's just a cube.
They're going to be like, why is that fridge in your console? All right, with my second overall pick, you're choosing that has changed my pick up a little bit. I'm going to go with the PlayStation 4 original, the italicized, jagged-edged PlayStation 4. I think that's the sexiest console ever. It just looks sleek. You got your bold Xbox Series X, and I got my italicized PS4.
I'll take the bold end of the week. Mine, you got like a glass of red wine. I got that like whiskey right now. Like that thing just goes hard. With my next pick, give me the Wii. I like, once again, it's sleek, it's small, and it looks great on an entertainment system. Like, it is supposed to be next to a TV, supposed to be in that entertainment system. Like, it is really good. And honestly, too, is because it's so small, stack of games next to it. Yes. Like, it is really functional. It looks good. Looks clean.
It's hiding all the ports on the top for the GameCube ports and everything. I do love the Wii. Underrated.
Wii looks great.
Underrated console architecture for sure. My third overall pick. We got to get something other than PlayStation. And This would have been my second overall pick.
For your team.
Yes. It would have been my second overall pick if you had not picked the Xbox Series X. I'm going to pick the Xbox 360 Elite. So still the fatter version, but the black one. That's my favorite Xbox. I think that console is sleek as all get out. I love the removable hard drive on the top. I think that's really cool looking. But yeah, Xbox 360 Elite was my third pick.
All right. Now we get into the fun ones. With my next pick, I'm going to take the Nintendo Switch. I think that the dock, I think that when you have the Joy-Cons off it, it looks great. It's just a black box. I just want my consoles to not be ugly, okay? I want there's so many butt ugly consoles, and that is not a butt ugly console. And the functionality of it also, when it's on the go, it also still looks good. Like, it makes sense. It's functional. Give me the Switch, third pick. I love my team thus far because all my picks are at least normal. Like, you see that and it's not an eyesore. I think that the Xbox 360 is a little bit with the curves, like a little wild.
So with my fourth overall pick, we're going in just like opposite directions here. I'm going with one of the most unique console looks ever, the GameCube, the purple version, the original. It's squarical. Not spherical, it's squarical. It's awesome. I love the look of it. It's got a handle on the back. You could beat somebody to death with it. Keep it in the edit. It's awesome, dude. Put it around a chain. It's great.
Oh my gosh. With my fourth pick, we can go in a couple different ways here, but I'm gonna take the PS1. Gray. Easy.
The original PlayStation.
Yeah.
Or the PSONE, the one that I have, the little circular one, or like the fatter.
I want the circular gray one.
I agree.
PSONE.
Yes, I think that would have been my first overall pick if I was voting with my heart. I love the look of that console.
Looks great. It looks like a console. Like, you're like, that plays video games.
That is the future right there.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah.
With my last pick, I'm going to go with the Dreamcast. Just very simple, elegant design, really, I don't know, angular, but like but still unique. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has that stark white. It looks amazing on a shelf, and it's really unique still. And then it has a fantastic controller. But we're not talking about controllers today.
With my last pick, I gotta do it just because of the moment. There's no moment that I enjoy more than looking back at the release and the showing of the PS5. Oh, the thing, I said I don't like my curves. The thing looks like the character from Journey. It's got like the ears up, like it looks so. Somebody said it looked like Wayne Tower. I do believe it kind of looks like a building that like is in downtown Boston, and it doesn't make sense.
It's Seto Kaiba, is what you mean. You know,
yeah,
from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, it's but it's also like I see it in my entertainment console right now, and I love it. Like, I do think that it looks sleek. I love the blue and the yellow light. Just those tints. Orange was I was looking for. The tints look so good. It is what it's supposed to be. It is bold. You boot that thing up. It's quiet. The second that it finishes, it's starting.
Just talking about looks.
I know, but it really does look like the future.
It does.
And that is the future of gaming. There was a reason when they revealed that bad boy. It was the Future of Gaming Showcase, which I felt like was a bold statement, and they ended it with one of the boldest consoles of all time.
It is bold, for sure. It's ugly, but it's bold.
Right.
Do you have any honorable mentions real fast?
I think every Nintendo console overall is actually really good.
I wanted to go with the Famicom, which is or the Super Famicom, which is the SNES in Japan.
Yeah.
But it's more about the controller look, because the controllers have like the colorful buttons rather than the purple and gray of like the regular SNES, and the actual Famicom isn't as nice. I like the purple sliders on the SNES.
Well, I mean, the one that, I do. The one that, wasn't drafted from the PlayStation lineup, PS3.
PS3 Slim.
The Slim.
I have
great
that
looking,
as my number
but
10.
the PS3 chunky.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
With the Spider-Man 3 like text on it.
Jeez Louise. All right.
Yucky.
Close this out, Con.
that was the casual gaming conversation. Thanks so much for everybody who's been tuning in week over week. It's crazy that people are actually sitting and listening to the whole thing, and we love doing it. So these drafts you get early, the hot take you get early, and then we have the one big topic. I hope this week's was fun for everybody.
I can tell you next week's was Spider-Man 2 spoiler-filled review.
Yes.
So you got some homework this weekend. You're a Sony pony, and you got to beat that game by Thursday. Which, I mean, I think Michael's to beat by Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna really book it, honestly.
We both are gas pedaling it, absolutely. I'm going to be streaming it Friday at 5 p.m. on release day. So if you're seeing this before Friday at 5 p.m., I'm just going to be streaming. It's not going to be a chair stream. It's going to be a couch stream, hanging out with you guys, chill, relax. Yeah, thank you so much for being here.